All right, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to let you know this session is being recorded, and the video along with the presentation slides will be put on the Educational Technology website within the next, let's say, week or so. So thank you for attending our webinar this morning. I'm just going to go through some housekeeping items before we start. My name is Gina Catanazzo, and I am one of the Educational Technology Committee, ETC for short, representatives from Humber College. The virtual Lunch and Learn webinar series is brought to you by the ETC. The ETC is comprised of members from all 24 colleges in Ontario, Canada, and the sharing of ideas, best practices, and teaching and learning strategies related to the use of technologies inside and outside of the classroom is a central characteristic of the committee and the inspiration for this webinar series. Oops, wrong slide. There we go. In addition to this webinar, we have 2 additional webinars coming up in the series. Do visit our website to sign up for at either of these webinars. Our next webinar is called Educational Video Games Design, Choose Your Own Adventure Game, and it will be held on November 25th at 12 p.m. Want to facilitate a webinar? We are now accepting volunteers for the winter 2021 term. To submit a proposal, visit our website, and I will be pasting all these links into our chat window once I'm finished my introduction. And last but not least, want to join our webinar mailing list, stay informed about upcoming webinars each term, opportunities to facilitate webinars, and information about the Advancing Learning Conference, which is a conference that the ETC committee also holds every year. Visit the link on the screen or in the chat box after I post it in there to join our mailing list. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Li Xuan Wen from Humber College, facilitating our webinar today, Building Accessible Experiences, coming all the way from Yichuan, China. All right, Li.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Li.
Oh, okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's just, there it is. We can see your screen now.
Okay, let's start. Well, hello, everyone. Today, my presentation is Building Accessible Digital Experiences. I'm going to talk about our web accessibility journey and, more importantly, introduce and demonstrate our in-house built open source and accessibility tools. One thing I would like to remind you, in this session, please kindly mute your microphone. If you have any question, please feel free to put it in the chat window. Gina will make a list of the questions and I will answer them at the end of the presentation. Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Li Xuan Wen. I work as a programmer in Teaching Plus Learning team at the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Science and Innovative Learning, Humber College, since 2015. For the 5 years, I have developed 25 online courses, course templates, and several online certificates. At the same time, I'm very interested in researching online interactivity. In these years, I keep researching and developing online accessible tools and interactive tools. So first, let's do some warm-up. How much do you know about web accessibility? I would like to test your knowledge about web accessibility using an interactive tool called Kahoot. It's a very fun game, and your response will be anonymous. Please visit Kahoot website at kahoot.it. So it's here, kahoot.it. So you can do it in your computer's web browser or in your phone's web browser, whatever works for you, that's fine. In the chat window, Gina will put the Kahoot address. So I'm going to open the Kahoot game from my end, and you will see the game pin right away. Okay, so the game pin is 8867470. Okay, let's start. When did AODA become law? So it's 2005. When Ontario will become completely accessible. Oh, thank God, right. It's 2025. How many people with disabilities living in Ontario? Oh, it's 1.8 million. What? And accessible website benefits. Oh, everyone. Websites must adhere to what under AODA requirements? Yeah, it's WCAG 2.0. Which of the following technologies help people use computers to access the web? Okay, all of the above. Oh, congratulations to Purple Swan, Radiant Alpaca, and who's the first? Oh, Paulama. Congratulations. Okay, that's all for our game. Okay, after the game, I would like you to watch a video. Gina will put the video link in the chat window. It's about 3 minutes long, but I will give you 4 minutes. So when you are back, please let us know in the chat window. You can give us a thumb up in the chat, then we know you are back. I'm going to mute in the next 4 minutes. Okay, is everyone back? 4 minutes is done.
We got a thumbs up from about half the people, but I think you can start again, Lee.
Okay. Okay, so you can see web accessibility is about everyone. Now I'm going to recap our journey to web accessibility in Humber College. So in 2016, we started to build the accessible design in digital media online course, which is now available to anyone out in the world. The course focused on making digital content accessible, such as audio, video content, printable materials such as PDFs and Word documents. I'm going to show you this course. Anyone interested in this course can take this course. This is the URL. So as the lead developer to this course, my job is to make this course, this website is fully accessible to users. At first, I coded everything under Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. To make it short, it's WCAG 2.0 AA level. To make it simple, so if a website is coded perfectly under this level, the website becomes accessible. For example, the content will become readable to traditional screen reader softwares, such as JAWS, which is a very common used screen reader software. However, when I was developing and testing the website with the assistive technologies such as JAWS, I found some problems. So here is my critical thinking and analysis. First, how much do you have to pay to get assistive technologies? For example, the JAWS home version is $895 plus tax, and the professional edition is over $1,000. This is zoom text. So zoom text is like a magnifier for the content you read. The cost is $700. So the cost will become a very big issue for those who need these technologies but cannot afford. Secondly, current accessibility tools cannot run across different computer platforms. For example, JAWS and Zoom Text is not compatible with Mac computer, and VoiceOver is not compatible with Windows system. So for example, even I buy the JAWS software, but I change a computer to Mac, I cannot use JAWS anymore. I have to purchase other assistive softwares. So that is another problem. Last but not least, current accessibility tools is not compatible with Learning Management System, or LMS for short. Why? LMS is like a frame for the online content. So this is a screenshot for our current learning management system in Humber. The thing in the red box is the LMS. So we put everything like course materials, getting started, critical paths inside this frame. So whatever accessible content we put in the frame, the screen reader will read the frame first. For example, for this page, the screen reader will read all the buttons beside the course first, then go to the content. So it will go like button my courses, button announcement, button home, button getting started, then blah, 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 to the end of here, and then start to read here. So it's the traditional screen reader software the reading order will depend on the HTML order. So this will be a problem. So whatever LMS users have, if they have to use current assistive tools to reach the content, the user experience is painful. So to my understanding, the accessibility is about independent. When I develop a website, I always think if people with disabilities can equally perceive, operate, and understand the content I deliver. If not, what can I do to eliminate the barriers? So that's the reason I create assistive accessibility bar. So this is a brief introduction for the accessibility bar. The bar has three functions. One is screen reader, the second is magnifier, the third one is printing. So the screen reader's functions is highlight and read all the text. It can pause and stop. It can read images, alternative text, buttons, and the links. It can skip and repeat the content, and it have highlight functionality. So it's like if I want the screen reader read one specific word or one specific sentence, I can highlight that, and it will read for me. And right now we have French and English option. Last but not least, it's totally compliant with LMS system. I will demonstrate this later. And also you can do some customized features in a very short time. First, it can read hidden text, and the other feature is you can ignore the content you want users to ignore. For the magnifier, so it's like a real magnifier in your web browser. So when you click the magnifier, hover on the content, it can magnify the text and the images. Yeah, and this one is the printing button. So it allows the user to print the current web page. And for the customized features, we can provide a very clean version to the users. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how the accessibility bar will really work. So this is the course I just mentioned. And when I click the screen reader button,
Francais. Accessible design and digital media.
so it's
Accessibility is a vital. Guillermo Acosta. About the core. Making accessible media. Making accessible media. Accessible design and making accessible media. Accessible design.
And it can stop.
Sorry, Lee.
Yeah.
When you're playing, we can't hear what you're saying.
Oh. I'm going to test again.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, like we could hear the screen reader before, but when you were talking, we couldn't hear you. It was your voice was very low. But now I can hear you, but not the screen reader.
Oh, okay. Okay. So now you can feel the screen reader function. And also when you highlight the content, it will read for you.
Accessible design and digital media.
Yeah. So that is the screen reader. Also, it have a French option.
link, skip, button, toggle, next. Conception accessible en les médias de radiodiffusion. Guillermo Acosta, doyen de la School of Media. Concernant le cours.
Okay, not sure if I tested it good.
We heard,
Gina,
we
can you
heard
hear?
it. Yeah, we heard it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to test the magnifier. So when I click the button here, and you can see the content become 3 times bigger than the original content. And also, if I want to see this image larger, I can see it. So for example, if I forgot to bring my glasses, I can use magnifier to see the content. So it's not only just for the people with disabilities. And for the print button, it's very clean. So we don't want print images and videos, the unnecessary content. So we make a very clean version for the print function. Yeah, that's for the demonstration. So the magic time, I'm going to show you how to embed this accessibility bar in the code. So this is the course we are just developing, and right now it doesn't have any screen reader or magnifier, and this is the code. Okay, I want to tell you, please don't get scared by this page. Basic knowledge of HTML is required to add this bar, but I just want to show you how easy it can be added to make your web content accessible compared to the very time-consuming WCAG implementing process. So I will add Akbar CSS here in the head. And I will add the Akbar JS here. Okay, now when I refresh this page from my localhost, I already get the bar. And to test that if it's working, I click. Okay. To turn off my microphone.
Living in an insecure world. Lesson over. In this module we will discuss the rationale. Learners will be introduced to traditional and contemporary approaches to security, primarily the state security.
To highlight.
Learners will be introduced to traditional and contemporary approaches to security, contextual.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to test the magnifier. The magnifier works too. And the print function. So if you want its printable material, you can just click print. So that works. So this is very easy. For in-depth development, like I mentioned, if I don't want any content to be read, I can add no TTS in the class name. For example, I don't want this title to be read. I can add no TTS in this title here. I save it and then I refresh. Okay, you can hear it. We'll read from lesson overview if nothing goes wrong.
Lesson overview.
Yeah.
In this module, we will
So the screen reader will ignore the content you don't want it to read if you add no TTS in the class name. So why we do this? Because sometimes the web content will be redundant. For example, like the logo image, if it keep appearing, we can make it, we can ignore it. And for the footer, we can ignore the content too. Yeah, so that's all for that's all the steps if you need to add the accessibility bar. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the value of the accessibility bar. So in terms of usability, it's free. We make it free, no cost, and it's open source. So anyone can implement this bar into their web content. And you don't, when users are using the web content, having accessibility bar, they don't need to install anything. Not like the desktop software you have to install. You don't need to install anything for the accessibility bar. And also, it can be used across different platforms. For example, it's compatible with Mac system, and it's also compatible with Windows system. And it's very easy to use without training. So all the key structure I just used is the very common sense keyboard structure. We don't need to get trained to learn how to use this. Last but not least, the screen reader is not just a text to speech. It also simulates the functions of the traditional screen reader software. For example, it can read the buttons, and it can read images, alt names, and it can read the links. In terms of strategy, so if you are developing a course or a website, it's very quick to implement. It's just 2 lines of code. And also it's compatible with the LMS, like I keep mentioned. I'm going to make a quick demo in the LMS system. So this is the course I'm developing, or the course content. I'm going to click in one. Oh, I have to log in. Let me see if this one have the content. Oh, it's the old one. Sorry, I developed too many courses. So now we are embedding the ag bar into all our online courses, including the Humber template. If you are a Humber instructor, you may notice there will be a bar into the Blackboard, in the Blackboard template. So when we embed this bar will not read the content here or here. It's only read the content you want the students to hear. Oh, I need to.
Release notes and highlights. Q4 2017-C with the Blackboard Learn 9. Crocodoc to new box view. Instructors grading assignments can add Collaborate Ultra. Instructors can add submission receipts.
Okay, and also the magnifier can work. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you pay attention to one detail when I open the screen reader, the drop-down menu opens itself. I'm going to show you one more time. So now the drop-down menu is like this. And when I click screen reader, it expanded themselves. So we consider the user experience when they use the screen reader, they might not that convenience to use the keyboard or mouse to open the drop-down menu. So we add this little feature in. Yeah, that's the demonstration for the Ag bar in the LMS. The other feature for the Ag bar is AODA compliance too. And from the universal design side, for example, I'm an auditory learner. I like to learn by hearing and listening. I can use the screen reader tool to listen the content. Another example is I'm a second language learner. I'm from China. So when I'm not sure a word's pronunciation, I can highlight the word and let the screen reader read it for me. Yeah. So how to get the accessibility bar? I think Gina will already put the link for the link of the Ag bar into the chat window. So these two links, you can paste it into the HTML and you already have the accessibility bar. Why we make it as a link, not a GitHub source code, we want you just do one-time work. So when you put this link, it's just like an online library. So we update, well, like any more features we add on in the future, we update it from our end. So you don't have to update your work like 2 times. So it's better you just paste these 2 links into your HTML code. And if you are a developer, you are very interested into the source code, you can get the source code from github.com/humberctl. Yeah, so this is the access for the accessibility bar. Okay, what's the future of the accessibility bar? What we will do more for it? I think in the future, I want to do more language support, like Mandarin language or Spanish or other languages. And also, I want to improve key structure functionality and maybe including a day or night reading mode. For example, this PowerPoint interface will be good when you read, will be good for your eyes when you read it at night. And we will add some voice recognitions and commands. For example, if users are not convenient using their mouse or keyboard, they can use their voice to control the screen reader or the magnifier for the Ag bar. And also, we are going to do some introduction and tutorial videos. We already did a few, but we will do more in the future for the tutorial videos. So now, any questions? That's all for my presentation.
Lee, there was one
Yeah.
question on the list from Dorina. She was wondering if the accessibility bar is compatible with Moodle. Will it work in Moodle?
What is Moodle? Sorry.
Moodle is an LMS system, so it's a different LMS system.
It depends on the content you put. For example, if you want to embed the any website or web page into the Moodle, if the web page works in the Moodle, then the egg bar works in the Moodle. So it doesn't matter which LMS you are using.
Okay, yeah, and Michelle just asked a similar question: is it compatible with D2L Brightspace? So the answer would be the same.
Yes.
It's not about the LMS, but it's about embedding the HTML pages or structures into the LMS.
Yes.
Jim is asking a question right now. Does this have to be installed by the college, or can an individual put it in their own course?
Both, in both way. Like when if you are developing your own course, of course you can put it in your course. But if the college want to every course get embedded, it's very easy to implement. For example, our college, like our department, we embed all the Akbar into our current developing course.
Lee, maybe stop sharing your screen for now, and then we can just answer the questions, so we don't see
Okay.
the tunnel of
Yeah.
success, as we affectionately call it.
Yeah, I was thinking how to make this disappear. Thank you,
So Miley has a question in the chat. How do you put it in your own course?
Miley. Oh, I like this name. How do you put it into your own course? So it's like just I just showed. I developed the course and I just paste the two links into the head and under the body tag, and then it's done. It's embedded into my own course.
Mm-hmm. So I think one thing to clarify for Miley is that the accessibility toolbar works if you're creating HTML content. So you have to put it into your HTML content. So for example, if you created an item of some sort directly in your LMS system that is not HTML, then you can't put it into your course that way or into a document.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it's only for HTML. It's only for HTML.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the web.
So there's two more questions. Zilin, I believe. Does Humber College accept the contribution of GitHub?
Yes, you can contribute it too if you want to upgrade. If you want to upgrade its function, you are very welcome to do it.
And Dorina asks, if you can show us again how to put the lines of code into your.
Okay.
And just want to also say, if you need to zoom in, because it is quite small on the screen when Leah's sharing it, once she shares her screen, you'll see an icon in the top left corner that looks like a piece of paper with a magnifier. If you click on that, you're able to zoom into the screen that Lee is presenting.
Okay, so I just put the CSS link here. So CSS is like what's the bar look like. So when you put this in, you get the look. And this place is to put the JS link here. So when you put JS in, you get the function. So it's very easy. And for any deep development, if you don't want the content to be read, you can add no TTS. For example, add no TTS in the lesson overview. The screen reader will ignore the lesson overview. It will just read the P tag under the lesson overview. And we will have the video recording. I think the video will record the process I just did. And if you are not clear about anything, you can watch the video, or you can ask me later. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Yeah, the first email is Mark's email. Mark is my director. And the second email is my email.
Okay, great. Are there any other questions? If you have any questions, feel free to either type them in the chat window, or you can come on the microphone and ask your question if you feel more comfortable doing that.
Oh, you are welcome.
And if there aren't any more questions, I will stop the recording. And I just want to say thank you so much, Lee, for sharing your knowledge and your information with us. And we all know accessibility is a really important